Beat Up with Chelsea, hanging out in the iHeart Country Lounge with 106.7 The Bull and our friend Aaron Goodvin.
Hello.
How are you, man?
Amazing. Good to be here.
Welcome to Denver.
It's good to be here.
You just got off the plane.
I did, literally.
Yeah.
You just ran here?
I had a little, I ran.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely ran.
Did you stop anywhere?
No. Well, Chick-fil-A maybe.
Oh.
Anywhere else? You planning to stop anywhere else in Denver? And
Why you got to throw that in there for people?
Some special things that we have here that
I don't
not
know.
all other states have.
I feel like you need to tell me where to go, and then I'll go there.
So where are you originally from?
Alberta, Canada.
Okay, cool.
I call it Northern Montana.
You don't really have a Canadian accent, though.
Apparently, I don't.
Okay. Does it like?
I've
Did you
lived
at
in
one
Na-
point?
I've lived in Nashville for 9 years, so
Oh,
that might
yeah.
have something to do
Yeah.
with it. But there's still a few words that come out that are 100% Canadian.
Is that a thing?
Like when you say your
That
BCs.
I've
never
heard that before.
Never heard that one. I just made it
That's-
up. I was like, I just thought
It's really
it
good.
works. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
You did really great with
So
that.
Goodvin, I've heard Goodwin obviously before, but Goodvin, I've never heard that as a last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
What's the story behind that?
You know what? I really don't know. My theory is that my great grandfather, let's just say 5 generations back, wanted to marry some other lady, so he just changed his name from Win to Vin.
Okay.
That's my theory, but that could just be total BS. I don't know.
Okay.
So we were reading up on you. You have written a ton of songs for some pretty big artists. Tell us the Luke Bryan song.
Luke Bryan was the biggest one. I added a song called "Out Like That" I wrote with Adam Sanders and Cole Swindell. And, Old Cole. And we wrote a lot of songs together, us 5. That was like us 3, I should say. But we had written about 5 songs that were just kind of like super 90s heartbreak songs that nobody wanted to cut. And so the first time we wrote a song that was like upbeat and somewhat positive, it got cut. So by arguably the biggest artist at that time, I think. So.
Yeah. Did you always just want to be a songwriter, or did you know this is what I have to do to get to the next level to be an artist?
Yeah, thank you for putting it that way.
Yeah.
It's I knew that was my way in. My first love was always performing and like. Which you're about to see. So hopefully that comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
But I love performing. But then I started writing songs, and people were like, "Hey, you can kind of do this, and you should try it." And, so I started making trips to Nashville. When I was 18 or 19, and I just wrote as many songs as I could. And I moved there about 9 years ago. And after about 2 years of struggling, we finally got the Luke cut, and I was able to stay and write more music. And then finally, probably coming into 2015, 2016 is when I really started focusing and getting back to what I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. So we have a podcast called Coming Up Country, and it's kind of about the struggles of what you had to go through to get where you are. So not like the lowest point in your life, but what was in your head the biggest struggle for you to get where you are now?
Man, where do I start? So Nashville's just a tough town, and it's really hard to keep your head on straight. I think my biggest struggle was probably with alcohol, and being that it's such a big part of our industry. And,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And some of the best shows to play are the big old country festivals where it's based around that. It's like, how drunk can we get over a 3-day period? So it's like that was probably my biggest struggle, and I struggled with it pretty heavily. And I think there's a thing where you when I went to Nashville, like all I wanted to do was just fit in. And I think that's a lot of people's struggles is they, rather than kind of being who they are, they would rather be somebody else to fit in. So I had my struggles with that, I would say.
So like, when you came to town, did you ease your way into Nashville? You said you started making trips, but or did you come in with
I
the
made
bang,
I made trips
roll-
for 6 years.
Dang, so you didn't really like roll into town
No.
and step off the
And I
bus
was-
and shake off the where you came from dust.
Oh my! Did you just look up the lyrics?
See what
You
he did there?
You
He
did.
Did you grab
He's
your
got the
guitar,
lyrics
walk
up.
down the street?
That says Nashville,
I'm just trying
Tennessee.
to relate to a country singer today.
I love
okay?
it.
Wow.
That's all I do is just speak in
Wow.
his language.
I'm
That's
so
so
sorry for
great.
him. I'm so
Thank you,
sorry.
Jason Aldean, for that.
Thank you for
That lyric.
that. That's awesome. Yeah, no, like I traveled back and forth for 6 years, and then so when I moved, I was very lucky when I first moved. I had like a mentor that kind of heard some of my writing and like kind of brought me to town. And I was writing with people I had no business writing with on my first trip, which was a really good thing and ended up being a good thing because I think I got in a lot of the right rooms with help. So I think there's there's different levels of Nashville, and there's different levels. Certainly of people that get cuts and have success, and then there's just these big hit writers in town, and and I still don't feel like I'm done yet, and I feel like I've written a lot of great songs, but my best song's probably still coming. So
So we talked about the struggles that you've gone through. What's been the highest moment of your career so far?
Denver, Colorado.
we are
5,280
here.
Colorado,
feet.
yeah. It's pretty high here. But it's there's a few things that I've done that have been super cool. Like I won a CCMA. It was probably the highest thing for me because I started going to the CCMAs and I don't even want to say when. A long time ago, like probably 12 or 13 years ago. And, once again, it's kind of like that. I felt like the donkey off of, have you guys, obviously you've seen Shrek, but
Right.
you have
Okay.
the DVD where if you just let you don't hit play on the movie
It just
yet.
like the preview.
And it's like, he's like
Yeah.
jumping in the background, like, pick me, Yeah.
I feel like that describes. I was
Oh,
just
wait,
gonna
what did I say?
I feel like that describes me to
So-
a T.
But like that's what it was for me at the CCMAs for like a long, long time. So my theory is just to try and outlast everybody else. And so when I won one of those, like it's not so much just like winning an award; it's more like winning an award from your peers and like a lot of the people that had seen me kind of struggle and do good things in the industry, but also struggle for a long time. And so. Yeah, it was a pretty cool moment. That was probably it.
We've got some moments to share with us right now in the form of song.
Ooh.
Was that
one more
official?
question. Can
Oh,
I
yeah,
ask
one more.
question?
Yeah, one more question.
Gosh, I just want one more.
This conversation
Okay, so
is just so great. We should just keep talking.
I know. Well, for someone who is unfamiliar with you and your music, what is the number one thing you would want them to know about you?
That I love country music.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of. I believe that artists have to evolve, and I believe that you need to always be taking your listener on a journey. And I think I'm very personal. I don't really write a lot of stuff that I can't. Like I'm a give a damn writer. Like if I don't relate to it, I have a really hard time writing it. So I'm just kind of like an open book. I'm pretty. I'm just kind of a normal guy that is hopefully has the what's the word. The ability to go far
Okay.
in this industry, and I love what I do, and I think that's pretty
The
obvious. So.
determination.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I like
better.
that
Way
one.
better.
Perseverance.
All right, I'll let you
Chutzpah.
sing words.
Is that
now.
another one we could use? That's appropriate. Chutzpah? Is that a thing?
I don't
have
know.
no idea.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a whole new word.
Anywho,
Whole new.
Anywho.
gotta go. On that
Alrighty.
note,
All right. So
love it.
let's share some music from Aaron Goodvin here with 106.7 The Bull in the iHeart Country Lounge.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.